Hopefully rings a bell. To both you, I'll start to swell.
Hello guys, welcome to Wolf Alpha Pack, the Battle of the Unknown first recording. First. You will have to forgive us since this is the first recording. First time doing a webcast. We usually do radio podcasts. So if this runs short, run long, and it is a bit low budget, hopefully up here one day we're going to have a whole different scenario going on. So this is Allison. Say hi, Allison.
Hi.
Okay. I am her daughter, Sage.
Yes, can you tell?
Yeah.
I mean, we just look so close in age, but I'm like 30.
I'm the best looking. Yeah, right. Okay. No, seriously. I'm the mother. I am gorgeous, 39 years old. Okay. All right. To tell us a little about you, about us.
Let's tell them about them.
Yeah, let's tell us. I'm 21 years old. She's 39. I have lupus SLE. It's systemic something or another. Believe me, I know what it is. I can't say it. It is something extremely long, and if I say it, I will lose my speech, mainly due to the fact that I've had 2 strokes and I have a jaw deformity that allows me not to say extremely long words. If you don't believe me, ask her. See?
Her teeth don't come together.
My teeth don't come together. But they're pretty teeth, you see? Very pretty teeth.
It's like a gap like that big.
See, it's a huge gap.
She only has like 2 teeth that touch.
I could talk about this, see? I'd be great in whatever that word is. There you go, that word. You know. I've had lupus for 26 years. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia back in 2007. Really, I knew about fibromyalgia, but really didn't know about it. Allison was diagnosed with fibromyalgia back in 2009. So, we've got to enjoy these illnesses together. My story is very long, extremely complicated. I almost died of lupus at age 13 when I was bleeding internally and did not know it. They rushed me to the hospital out of a fluke. I was going to Girl Scout camp. I was having a physical because I had petechiae all over my body and they couldn't figure out what it was. Did not know I was dying, did not know I was bleeding to death. They did blood work. I was headed off to camp. They pulled me out off the trip and rushed me to the hospital. Got sent to Children's Hospital and put me on steroids that made me gain almost 30 pounds. And I believe, now I can't remember, in 2 nights, my skin ripped. It got so paper thin it started to rip, and blood was seeping through my skin, and I have scars everywhere. And all I can remember was it was torture, and I don't remember anything from 1987. Honestly, I don't remember nothing. I mean, they say you don't remember the 70s. I don't remember nothing. So all I know is that I remember pain. I remember doctors telling my mother to get me ready, the family ready, because they didn't think I was going to make it. I remember doctors telling me I wasn't going to live to see 30, telling me I couldn't have kids. I was very, right. I was a very stubborn child. You don't tell me I can't do something. I'm sorry. My mama and I fought a lot because she told me I couldn't do something, and I guarantee you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to do it. Hence, probably why I don't have a job right now.
How about you can't clean?
Yeah, well, you tell me I can clean, I promise you I won't clean. Okay, now Allison, she started having problems at a young age. And of course the doctors told her it was all in her head. And I am a mother that will not take that for an answer when I know good and well it ain't in my child's head. A child's not going to come up to you at a very young age and tell you, Mama, I'm sick, I don't feel good, and it's in her head. And that's not right. A doctor should not ever go straight to it's just in your child's head when you know in your heart it's not. How did that make you feel when a doctor comes and tells you that?
Just like, on to the next.
Well,
I mean, after a while, you just get used to it.
I even tried to get her to go see a psychologist. Now, I took her to see one, and I let him sit through and tell her, you know, that she needed to go on medication. And I looked at him, and I wrote him a letter, and I said, you are stupid.
Who puts a 10-year-old on Prozac?
And considering the fact that Prozac at that time was also causing a high rate of suicidal among kids their age, and he was putting her on Prozac. And I simply said that she was not in need of Prozac. Now, she's on Prozac now, but, you know, for different reasons.
It's funny how life turns out.
It's not because it was in her head. You know, I'm on Prozac, she's on Prozac, we have a Prozac party, you know, that's different.
That might be a little legal.
Yeah. We get together and we take our Prozac, and, you know, we have our little, you know, let's not hurt party, you know. And it has nothing. You know, it's prescribed. It's based on some malfunction in the fibro brain that we.
It's
have
like a switch.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to like here's the on switch. It's like, here's your nerves. You're in pain, and then it goes shoop.
Yeah, and I have a question about that, because sometimes it really don't work, but sometimes you need it just to get out of bed, and sometimes that don't work either. But needless to say, I'm the old side of the illness. I've been through it all. I've battled it. I have hypothyroidism. I have brain atrophy, which apparently my brain used to be like this, and now it's like this. And I have memory problems sometimes. Memory problems.
Lie down.
Yeah, some other problems I can't remember.
Between the two of us, we have about a full brain.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I think it's an emotional problem. I have no idea. These are going to be fun webcasts, because sometimes we're not going to remember exactly what it is we're supposed to be talking about. We have something written down there, so we glance down to look at what we're writing. But when we have bad vision, we're kind of don't do us no good, because I can't see what I'm looking at, so I can't remember what I'm supposed to be looking at.
You could make it bigger.
Yeah, I could make it bigger. But mainly the situation is I've had brain atrophy, which affects the memory and motor skills sometimes. And then there is apparently empty cell syndrome, which apparently affects sex drive, which my husband is very pissed about that.
That's so bad.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the doctor to address that matter, and I'm sure my husband is too, because he's really not very happy about that. I think it has a lot to do with the illness, but my husband is waiting for the doctor to come up with a prescription, and I don't think it has anything to do with Viagra, because
Put you on back.
Yeah, you know.
If it lasts longer than 6 hours, we need to take you to the doctor.
Yeah. Although my husband probably would enjoy that. God love him. You know.
I don't think he'd get tired.
Yeah, exactly. But mainly Allison here, she is in college, and she has already had to retake her freshman year because she's been sick. She has now got through her freshman year, and she is a sophomore. Now she's studying to be a youth minister. She's decided she wants to help the youth out there. And she also wants to make it aware about to the youth, especially those that are suffering with fibromyalgia, and help people that are young understand what it's like to go through any chronic illness. It's not just fibromyalgia, but other illnesses that make you not want to get out of bed, that make you want to feel like you're alone, that make you want to think things that you shouldn't think. It's not easy. I went through it. I actually did not even graduate high school. I had to take my GED, it took me a while to finish college. I was a single parent. I mean, my husband, we've been married 4 years, and it's her stepfather. My first marriage didn't last but 6 months because literally I had to get, I didn't kill him. I just divorced him. So,
I have seen him since, so she's
yeah,
telling
yeah,
the truth.
He's not around. So if I say things like, I had to get rid of him, it's not an Italian thing. It's just that.
Although now technically she has brain damage.
Yeah, so I don't remember.
No, I probably shouldn't say that because then they can use this later for premeditated.
No. He is alive and well somewhere. He's a truck driver, so watch out. If you see a truck driver, don't get around the trucks. I wouldn't trust him. He wasn't a truck driver when I married him. He was a very young man. I was 18. He was 21, so I don't know what he looks like, and I wouldn't trust him on the road. So just letting you know. But I was very young. I raised Allison for 16 years by myself with no child support and no help. So I can attest to anybody out there. And carrying her for almost 11 months while I had lupus and complications and people trying to get me to abort her and almost miscarrying and then telling me she had Down syndrome. It was crazy.
And I was just chilling. I was like,
yeah.
Why would I want to leave? I've got food. I've got the most comfortable place in the world.
The first thing she did when she came out was she looked at me and she said, "Peace, Mama, what's up?" That child was
they had her so doped.
They knocked me out. I mean, I did not have a birthing suite. They had me on a floor that was not in a labor ward. They thought that I wasn't gonna make it. They didn't think she was gonna make it. They had me in a room in case none of us made it, so I wouldn't be around other mothers that were happy about their babies. And they had me on a steel table when I had her, just in case they had to have emergency surgery. And it was the worst. I mean, it was the worst. But I was so medicated. She was so medicated. After I had her, I was paralyzed from the waist up and could not hold that baby. And she never stopped growing. She would not stop growing. She is now 6'1", way taller than me.
6 foot.
6 foot.
Yeah, don't give me too much credit.
I'm shrinking, so, happens with age. So basically, this is our first webcast. You know a little bit about us. You have seen us on our Facebook page, which is The Battle of the Unknown, Lupus and Fibromyalgia. We also have a closed group called the Wolf Alpha Pack. The reason why we use the wolf picture with the butterfly over the wolf, basically we both talk about lupus and fibromyalgia because they're both chronic illnesses, similar in nature. Lupus does attack the organs in some cases, but they both overlay when it comes to chronic illnesses and fatigue and sun allergy. And in the majority of the times, people with lupus do also have fibromyalgia. The lupus is, with lupus, being that it is, lupus is the word for wolf, you also have the discord or the rash on the face, which originally came from the wolf bite on the look of the face, and also the butterfly, which has become the symbol for both the lupus and the fibromyalgia. So that's what our symbol for our pages have become, and also the fact that we say, even though you have to treat us as gentle and delicate as a butterfly, we are as fierce and a fighter as a wolf. And we come together as a pack to be heard and to fight together as alphas. And that's what you are. You are strong alphas. And alphas are leaders. You're leaders in what you do, and you have battle scars. And you're wearing your battle scars proudly. And never be ashamed. Don't let people back you down in the corner. Don't let people who are foolish and don't understand your illness. Fibromyalgia is real. It's not in your head. Well, literally it's in your head because it's a brain malfunction. So if somebody comes to you and say it's all in your head, duh. It is a malfunction in your head. And if they say it's in your head, well, duh, okay? But it's not. Doctors don't let anybody tell you you're not worthy of your life. You're not worthy of what you're feeling. You know what you're feeling. You know how you feel. Heck, do I look sick? Well, I got makeup on. You ain't seen me without my makeup on.
I'm not wearing makeup.
Yeah.
I'm hurting and yeah. You're lucky enough I put a hat on and changed my shirt.
Yeah, you're lucky I got out of my dress. You didn't want to see me in my dress. It was awful. All I needed was curlers. No. We're in Alabama. We're lucky we get out of our curlers, and everything. But don't let anybody be in your path with all this negativity. You are beautiful people with battle scars, and nobody has the right to tell you otherwise, and you can't give people that power. Nobody has that power over you to say anything like that, and you can't give them that power. And you're going to have your good days, and you're going to have your bad days. Like I said, I just lost my job because of some boss somewhere was scared because I have an illness. I didn't use up any of all my sick days. I was top performer in what I did. He was just afraid that I was going to get sick and he may have to pay workman's comp, and he just decided to let me loose. And because he didn't have enough employees, I could not get protected under EEOC. So there are a bunch of people out there who act like that, and it's unfair to us. And yes, I am fighting back, and it's going to take a lot of draining on my part, and a lot of fight in me, and a lot of headaches to fight back. And you have to. And it's going to seem like a pain because it just takes so much out of you. And then you're going to have family members that are not going to understand. You're going to have people that are not going to understand. You're going to have people that get on your Facebook page and are going to beat you down. The thing you're going to have to remember is ignore those people. Do not comment back to them. Do not give them the power to say something back to you, because that's what they're looking for. They want you to give them that power. I mean, if they're going to say something to you and you say something back to them, they want that. They want that fight. Everybody already knows they're that kind of people. That's what they look for. They want that attention. Don't give it to them. If they say something to you, ignore them. Move on to the next positive comment that somebody makes. You don't give them that power, they'll go away. But if you give them that power, they are going to pick on you, and they are going to tear into you because you gave them that power. And that is sad, because that's the kind of people in their head that they are. And I have seen it over and over and over again. It doesn't matter how many times you block them, they will. Is that Jack trying to come in?
She's been trying to come in the whole time.
Jack's our little guest star. He thinks he should be on the show. We'll have to introduce you. He's our little co-star.
That I'm allergic to.
Oh, yeah. Allison found out she's allergic to grass, trees, and cats.
And we have 3 cats, so...
3 cats, 4 dogs.
That's my baby. But that's what medicine's for, right?
Yeah. Like you don't have enough issues. But I think what we're going to do with the shows is we're going to do like segments. And the first segment I think we're going to do is Medical Manias. What was it called? Medical Mania Minute.
Yeah.
Wow. I got issues.
She's the one that came up with this. And she can't.
Today's Medical Mania Minute mainly deals with your doctor's visit. Now, you have noticed, well, I have noticed, back in the day, doctors used to bring you your chart and write down notes in your chart, and they would take notes. Or they'd have a recorder, and then they'd give the recorder to their nurse, and the nurse would type it up, or whatever they used to do. Now they bring in their little computers. And I've noticed lately that they don't even really type anything in. They're talking to you. And on the next appointment, they're asking you, what did we talk about last time? And I think it's kind of crazy when somebody has 2 strokes and brain fog. They're asking you what they talked about last time, and I'm looking at them like, how am I supposed to remember what we talked about?
Or it's like a little drop-down menu, and if you have too many things in the drop-down menu, they're looking at you like, okay, so tell me that again.
Yeah, exactly. And then the sad thing is when you do call and say, the doctor told me to tell him when this happens, and he can't recall what he talked about. They deal with a lot of clients every day. And this has gotten really sad. So what I've decided to do is I've decided to make up my own little chart. And I've decided the next time I go to the doctor's visit, I'm going to write the date. I'm going to keep a track of what medicines I'm on. I'm going to go in and I'm going to do my own little chart where I discuss things with the doctor. I'm going to write down what he says word for word and what I say word for word, including my questions. Then that way, the next time I have what's going on, I'm going to write down questions and I'm going to answer them so I'm prepared for the next one. So I think Mr. Jack Jack's going to have to go if he can't be still. So.
Say, I'll be good.
He's not being still.
He's excited. You're not usually in here.
So I think that's going to be the what's going to have to happen. Some doctors may still be writing their notes down, but a lot of them are going to start relying on their memory, or they're going to start relying on their nurses to fill in the blanks. And not that I don't think that nurses are doing their job great or the doctors are doing their job great. I think a lot is being left out by what is being said based on just memory. So mainly, I think it's a good idea, even if it's just a little notebook, just for your medical information, to get that notebook, write the date down, write any questions you have before you go to the doctor, because I have to every time I go, because I know I'm going to forget everything that's happened, any questions I may have, any medications or problems I may be having, anything that's happening new, symptoms, whatever. And then when he does bring up that information, such as, try this, call me if this happens. That way, if I have to call, then when I call, I can tell the nurse verbatim. And then this time when the doctor says, I don't remember ever saying this, when I go see him, I can pull my little notebook out and I can show him our notes. That way, he's really not going to have a choice but believe me. And just in case, this doctor is not a doctor you really trust. Now, I love my doctors, and I think they're great, and I really hadn't had any problems with them. But if you ever have to go to court, your notes are really a journal that will be allowed in court. So keep those notes detailed and keep them up to date. And I'm not an attorney, not a doctor, just my opinion, just my advice. But I think it's important in these days, especially having brain fog, especially having strokes and being on a lot of medication that may keep your mind kind of crazy, that you keep your ducks in a row. Just my opinion. What do you think?
Oh, you asked me?
Hey, your point. What have you seen when you go to the doctor?
I think my biggest thing would be don't overwhelm them with too much information. Because I'm the one that'll go in there and I'll tell them everything that's wrong with me. Like, they'll ask you, how long has something been going on? And I'll be like, well, this has been going on for a few months. And then they look at you like, a few months?
She does overwhelm them a bit.
Just a little bit. But I can't help it. I get interesting illnesses that they can never find out what's wrong with me.
Yeah, but you start back with, well, the day I was born.
No, okay. No. Like, I'll go in, I'll complain about headaches. And I'll just tell them, well, I used to have migraines when I was little, but then they went away. And then for about a year and a half ago, for about a month straight, I had between a migraine and a headache with nothing in between. I mean, not nothing in between, but like no rest where I didn't have a headache. And then I'll tell them, since then, I've So then,
brain fog. See, I'm not the only one.
Since then, every morning I have a headache, and I get migraines. So, and they all look at me. They're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I finally got an MRI, and nothing was wrong with my head that the MRI could show. So they're just like, "Oh, okay. Well, just take Tylenol."
Yeah. The one thing I hate about is all these tests that say nothing's wrong, and yet the pain just makes you say something's wrong. And the doctors, all they can do is look at it and say, well, we can't find nothing, but there's something. So hang in there. It's tough. I've had things tell me all my life, oh, we can't find nothing. There's nothing in the test where nothing. And then boom, it was like, oh my God, you have empty cell, two strokes, and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Hold up. Okay, you're telling me my whole life that you can't find that, and all of a sudden my whole body crashes. So trust, there's something wrong. They're just waiting for, something. So just let them know. Like I said, you're an alpha. You have a voice. Tell them there's something wrong, and you want something done about it. And there are going to be doctors that tell you, well, we can't help you. That we can't see you no more. Those are the doctors you don't want. You don't want any doctor that's not willing to be the house that needs to keep trying to find something wrong. And that's a good point. I would love to have a doctor like House that would give up sleeping and eating to find out what's wrong with you, because he can't find out what's wrong with you until he finds something wrong with you, instead of just throwing you in the streets and say, we just can't help you.
Yeah.
All right. And then we got versus the knockout. This segment is basically something versus something. Now, we did recently on our page zombie versus vampire. Can you see my eyebrows? Okay, I guess not. Zombie versus vampire. Basically, the theory is, with our illness, light sensitivity, basically around the summer. You can't be out in the sun too long because you break out in a rash, you feel sick, sluggish, nauseous, the sun's your enemy, you can only be out at night, makes you not want to eat, drink blood. No, I'm just kidding, not drink blood. Don't drink blood. Nobody go drinking blood. I didn't tell you to. That's bad.
Won't make you feel good.
No. Don't
Donate
do that.
blood.
Donate blood. I can't. I don't have a spleen. They said I can't do it. She can. I can't.
So,
no. What we're going to do is we're going to pretty much ask you to choose whether you are vampire versus zombie. Now, the idea is, with our illness, it basically is vampires cannot be out in sun because of our illness. Some of us have a sun allergy, break out in a rash, get nauseous. Basically, sun, big no-no. With me, it is bad. But it's not every year. This year, the UVs here in Alabama are awful. I'm already starting to break out, and I've been keeping my arms covered, and it's still bad. It is big time not feeling good, not wanting to go out, even inside our home. And it's some UV lights, some indoor lights, store lights. It does not even matter. I go out for a minute to take care of our animals, and yes, we're out in the country, so it's not good. Not to mention the humidity makes things worse as well. How's it affecting you? Now, you can tell, look at this. I'm white. She's albino. When she gets a little light on her at night, she glows in the dark. And you can ask her about the mosquitoes.
oh gosh.
So tell us what your experience is.
Well, for me, it depends on the day. I'm not as bad with her as with the sun. Well, I'm pale. I'm not full albino. I'm like, when I was a baby, I was like half albino or whatever. But I'm really, really pale, and you can trace my veins pretty much throughout my whole body. But
It's worse than a road map.
thank you.
Kind of like my stretch marks.
Except for no. But there are certain days where I'll just go check the mail and you literally feel the sun burning your skin, almost like you laid your arm down on a stove or something.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how else to describe it. But yeah, I drive with this arm, and I'm starting to try to break out on this arm, but.
And you start sometimes feeling the tingling, or your skin feels like it's starting to stretch, or something like that. It's just not a pleasant feeling. And then I get this real dry rash type feeling, almost like the surface of Mars right here. That lotion does not work, and then especially around in here, and and then you get really thirsty to the point where Powerade and Gatorade don't work. But we're just going to pop in with drinking Rehydrate, which is a product that my daughter loves. ExtremeAdvo.com will tell you that stuff's awesome. Just going to throw that in real quick. No product placement. No. Basically, that is what we're calling the vampire. Now, the zombie side of it is what Allison describes me. Now, we would call her the vampire, I would be the zombie.
Except for I don't suck blood. I get my blood sucked.
Right. She's, the mosquitoes love her.
I don't know if you can see that, but.
Yeah, she's tore up. Now, the mosquitoes hate me. My blood just repels them. There's something in me they do not like, will not touch me with a 10-foot pole. Now, zombie-wise, I would be the moaning, groaning, can't walk, tripping over things, just looking awful type deal. So I would be the zombie, hurting all over, dragging one foot behind me, sleeping, whatever. Now, as for the eating the brains part, my brain's already gone anyway, so that would be the zombie. So if you had to say which you were, which would it be? Would you say you were more zombie, or which would you be more vampire?
Or vampy.
Or vampy. Zambi or vampy, whichever. Now, you can be a percentage of both, but you would still be more one than the other. Which would it be? And if so, would you give yourself a cute little name? And if you could you draw yourself in a picture to look like it? If so, could you email us that information or that picture, and we can show it here? And if so, would you want our email address? Dun, dun, dun. Question. Now, are you fast enough to catch it? The email address would be wolfalphapack@gmail.com. That is WOLFALPHAPACK@gmail.com. Now, did I spell that right?
I don't know.
Okay. We'll post it. It is wolfalphapack@gmail.com. So you can send us email. Don't send us hate mail because we don't believe in hate. We're against hate. We don't believe in it. So we don't want to receive it. If you love our show, then that's fine. You can send us as much love as you want to. Just no hate mail. You can send that somewhere else.
Green screen donations are welcome.
Yeah. If you want to fill our screen, that's fine.
We can put pictures up. If y'all send us pictures, we can put it up for the next video.
That's right. Right. Ideas, fine. That's cool. We like ideas. So this is pretty much our first show. We're going to try to come up with good and better ideas each time, and more. We're going to get a better camera. We're going to get, hopefully, a more bustier thing going on here so I don't look so saggy. Who knows? Allison will try to, look less pale.
Is that possible?
Despite the hair, I'm not an Auburn fan, so roll tide for all you Alabamians.
War Eagle.
No, we ain't listening to no War Eagle.
Don't let her fool you. Before she got married, she was Auburn, and then she
No.
got married to an Alabama fan.
No, roll tide, roll tide.
Don't let her fool you.
No. And we do want to let you know, cyber hugs to all you people out there. And keep strong, remain strong, alphas, and we will see you next time.
Hey, out of the box, out of the box. So long, farewell to you,
No, see,
my
you're going to get us sued.
friends.
Goodbye. Okay. We'll come up with our own theme song later. Okay, y'all have a good day.